everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
It's all you.
And today, it's our Captor video. And by Captor video, we mean our membership video that our Captors picked for us to do this month. And they, along with a lot of people, I think, really just wanted to see a rant video.
Yeah.
So we're going to rant about some books.
Yeah. We each have 8. We're going to rant about it. This is a little bit out of our comfort zone. I mean, we rant like every once in a while about a book in 1 minute book recs, but like to have a whole video, some of us more than others, to have a whole video full of rants is a little bit hard for us. We like to be respectful of authors. And so this is we still want to be respectful of authors, but some books just really tick us off. And so we're going to discuss it. We're just going to discuss it. And I don't know what else to say because I don't want to be mean, but at the same time, I need to rant.
Several on. Oh crap! I have several on my list where I really loved a book by the author.
Oh, I know.
And and the book I'm going to rant about, I have reasons, was like a letdown.
I have 1 or 2 that I'm going to tell you right now. Don't ever ask for them to be in the box. I'll let you know which ones they are, okay? Because, no. Okay, so we each have 8. What was your oh crap for? Because you have 9.
No, I actually have 7. So I need to grab one more.
Okay, well, while I'm talking, you can. Yeah. We're both going to stay on, but because I need to see your reaction to things. You're just going to have to look while I'm talking.
Okay, then you need to give me a second to grab my 8th. Okay. Welcome back.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back. Mandy has her 8. I have my 8. So let's do this. How are we doing? Are we what?
But first, hit that subscribe button so you're entered to win Hell of a Show
by Layla James and Shauna Marie.
Comment on this week's or next week's 1 minute book recs and be a subscriber, and you're entered to win.
Yep.
You can also check out channel membership down below, as well as our Amazon store. And now we shall rant.
Okay. I'm going to start with just the oldie but the goodie, and it's one that you guys, if you've been here for a minute, you know that I hate this book. It is extremely popular, and so is this author, and this is one that I don't ever ask. It will never happen. Never. I cannot stand her writing at all. And I am so sorry. Can I just say, if any authors are on here, I mean, like our ones like BJ and whatever, like and Karen, like you can stay. But if you're just finding this video and you're an author, just keep going, okay? Because it's not for you. This is for the readers. So really,
this is not our typical thing.
It's not our typical thing, and I don't like doing this. But we're giving the people what they want, and it's giving me all sorts of anxiety. So please, Lord, don't let this one go viral. Okay, so the first one that I have is Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. You guys know, if you've been here, I loathe this book. Like, it is so far beyond hate, it's not even funny. I read it before it became popular. I read it the first week it came out, and people were just ranting, they were just raving about this book. I do not get it. It is the sloppiest piece of writing I have ever come across. Like, the timelines don't match up. I thought, so this girl gets kidnapped by these 3 or 4 guys. I can't remember. Whatever. They're supposed to be mafia. She's supposed to be some badass. She was just beyond annoying. Like, she started out okay. And then the more the book got going, the more I couldn't even stand, I couldn't stand it. I'm like, well, they must have it. Like, they're all saying they love each other at this point. This is a thick bitch, too. This book is thick. And I'm like, so she's got to have been there for at least, 2-3 months minimum? Oh, no. Turn the next page, and they were like, 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks, and everybody loved each other. That shit don't happen.
I should say that in case people haven't figured this out, and maybe we need to put a warning at the beginning, like a little note in there, there's going to be spoilers. You can't rant without there being spoilers. So
yes, so definitely spoilers.
This video is going to have a lot of spoilers.
Yes. So and then this book was just way too long. There were plot holes everywhere. The whole, like, he stabs a knife into his own thigh and then she rides the knife You're joking, right? Yeah, that happens in here a lot. Things like that. This guy loves blood play, but this takes blood play to a whole nother level. Like you're stabbing something into your thigh and then having her write her. It was in his leg somewhere. Top of his groin. He stabbed her and then he comes up behind her and bangs her with the knife, with the hilt of the knife, the back of it. And it cut like this big hole in his leg. Talk about nerve damage. I mean, there's fiction and then there's just being ridiculous. So, no. And I've tried several other books by this author. All of her heroines are beyond obnoxious. I do not understand why she's popular. I do not understand why she has lines at the door when we go to events, but it is what it is. Please take over, because if I can't continue ranting, I'm going to end up online in some like viral video, and then I'm going to lose my business.
Mine is strictly based on that. I absolutely hate the trope and didn't realize what I was reading. I stuck it out, read the whole damn book, and hated it. I will say we have met this author and she is very nice, but I just can't read her because all she writes, I think, is love triangle. And that is Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. I hated this book. It has nothing to do with the writing. It's all me. I hate love triangles. First off, Mason was the brother and he is a controlling jerk to his sister. And how is like, there's a huge friend group and family group in this book, which was a little overwhelming to get started with. But anyway, with that being said, how the hell is nobody else saying that his like control over her and who she dates is not concerning? Like nobody else thinks this is concerning, and it is, he's horrible. That aside, I could not, I wanted Chase to step up and take control of the situation, and Chase never does. And I couldn't, Noah was too nice, and I'm sure that probably says something about me, but I could never get behind Noah being the one for her. I just couldn't. And I don't care about blondes and brunettes. I don't give a shit. I just don't. It's the stupidest rule ever.
But it's
And
true.
Chase really needed to step up and take control of the situation and claim her. He needed to punch Mason in the face because Mason was being such a jerk. And Noah just needed to leave everybody alone and go live his life by himself. And I know that this book is wildly popular and everybody loves it, but it was stupid.
Yeah. This
She
is
should
probably
have ended up with Chase.
This is probably the perfect time, which I should have said this earlier. One of us should have. These are our opinions. If these are your favorite books, we're sorry. These are just our opinions.
I hate love triangle, and that's never going to change.
Yeah, because I do have some popular books that I'm going to talk about.
I could rant about another person's love triangle that somebody forced me to read, and I refused to finish it, but I won't.
We don't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
I won't.
Okay.
But I hate love triangle.
I know you do. Okay, the next one that I have on this list is another. This is not the author. This is the book and the content of the book itself. The author is very popular. This series is very popular. I've had several people ask me to do this series, and no, I'm not going to do it. And so that is the first book in the series is the novella, and I just don't get this. And it is The Dare by Harley LaRue. And I know for a lot of you, everybody's like, no, you just have to continue reading the series, but I don't want to, because the premise of this is that I think it's 3 or 4 guys. It's a why choose. These guys who were nerds in high school and who were tortured, like bullied type torture by this girl named Jessica, which honestly, we're not mean like that, okay? But, and as I'm ranting about this book, anyhow, this girl is at a party at Halloween. She was their tormentor. She was their bully. And so in order to get back at her, they all gangbang her. And then it becomes a romance. And first of all, she was annoying and she was obnoxious. And why would anybody want to be with someone who treated them so crappily, even if it was, they've only been out of school for like a year or two. They haven't been out that long. I can't remember how long it was. It wasn't very long. Why would you let that person into your life? Why would you start a romance with someone who, she's still mean? She is still a horrible person. And that's getting back at her because now you can screw her in a mask? No, it didn't work for me. I didn't understand that. I hate it with a passion. It's got nothing to do with Harley's writing or her other books, just this one, the premise of this one. I know that this is like so popular, but no. No, I didn't get it. she was a bitch to them that night too. I'm as somebody who was bullied in school. No. I laugh now that most of my bullies didn't do anything with their lives. That's what they deserved. So rude, horrible people.
Okay.
Lord forgive me. Okay, keep going.
Okay, next up is an extremely popular book that I also hated. And I would like to point out that I love, like, if you've been on the channel, you know, Taboo age gap is like my jam. I love it. So,
I know what this is.
in theory, I should have loved this one, and I didn't because I don't like Taboo and age gap just because it's taboo or just because it's age gap. I like that forbidden love of like these two people, like everything is like trying to keep them apart, but they love each other so much that they have to figure out how to make this work. That's what I love about it. So, my next book is Medicine Man by Saffron A. Kent. I know a lot of people like it. Again, our opinions, why it didn't work for me. I didn't even write down their names in my notes. And this, I read this a really long time ago. It's not even in our journal, it's in another journal. So that I felt like there was absolutely no development of feelings. He is her psychiatrist. He meets her and he immediately fucks her. And then he tells her it's a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. We shouldn't have done this. And basically he blames her. And then you just keep repeating that for the entire freaking book. Like, there's no development in their feelings for each other. Like, he meets her and fucks her. And, like, there's nothing about it, like, where he is drawn to her or she's drawn to him. There's no development at all. It's just immediate, insta lust, sex. And then he's like, this was a mistake. And he's mad at her when he's the freaking psychiatrist and she is the patient. And he's mad at her for it. And then we just repeat this through the whole book.
Yeah.
This can be done really well. Karen Crompton wrote it really well. L.M. Halloran wrote it really well. Saffron Kent did not. It was stupid and I hated it and I don't understand why people like it.
I think this was one of the first books in like of that nature back in the day too. So hopefully she would have grown a little bit. I don't know. I like her newer stuff.
I have heard that, but I just hated this one so much. I haven't wanted to try anything.
You don't want to try it, do you? No. Yeah. Okay. Well, the next one I have is popular too.
And again, I'm really sorry about these.
Yeah, you guys are making us do this. I don't know that we want to do this. Okay. So the next one that I have is Sinners Anonymous by Soam Sketcher. I know that is really popular, but holy bird puns, Batman. This one was so annoying. First of all, I was bored in it. So I was probably looking for something to pick apart. But our heroine in this one, it's like a mafia kind of, it's mafia adjacent. There's mafia involved. Our heroine is obsessed with birds. And instead of swearing like a normal, mature woman, she uses bird puns. Like, she doesn't even use crap or like, you know, a softer word. Or darn, she uses bird puns throughout the whole book. Now, I know people love this. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. Like, there's making your heroine obnoxious and like going so far, you know, off the scale that you can't even stand the heroine. And then there's making your heroine so pure and innocent that you can't stand her too. And so that was what this one was. It really had nothing to do with the writing other than the story just being boring to me. Maybe the ones after it are better, but I bought all these books from her when we met her in Vegas, our first time at Love in Vegas. And I ended up selling them not too long afterwards because I read the first one and I was like, what the hell? So, you know, I don't even care. I'm not going to read the rest because the first one was so horrendous. I don't know why it's popular, but that's just me. Next.
Okay. My next one is an interesting one because I've read several books by this author and I've enjoyed them. And this, so I'm just going to dive right in. So I read The Confidence of Wildflowers by Michaela Smeltzer. And I loved it. I rated it 5 stars. I actually wrote a review on Goodreads for it, and we weren't even doing our channel at the time. And I wrote, the book was wonderfully written. It was also the most heartbreaking story I've read. I can only hope that book 2 will start to put me back together. I remember reading this book out in my field with my goats, taking
I
them
remember
out
you
back.
calling me about it.
I cried.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. It was
I
incredible.
was getting Marco Polos from you crying over it.
Oh,
I remember that.
We were doing Marco
and
Polo
then
at
you
the time,
started
weren't
the
we?
second book, and then I got a completely different Marco Polo.
Yes. So then book 2 is the resurrection of wildflowers. And okay, this is going to be some spoilers. I hated it. I felt there was a time jump that really bothered me. I'm looking at my notes from what I wrote because again, we weren't doing the channel, but I still left a review because I was so pissed about it. I felt like the author didn't know who her characters were anymore. So she took Salem, and Salem loved Thayer, but she just gave up and walked away and took his daughter that he didn't even know about for 6 fucking years. Okay? 6 years. And I know she gives reasons for why she did it. I hated it. I just don't agree with it. And maybe it's because they couldn't get past like the humanity side of like how do you decide for somebody that they can't see their kid for 6 years? That's not okay. Like, and that really bothers me. It's why I don't like Secret Baby unless there's a good reason for it. And it really bugged me. But I felt like she completely betrayed her characters. And then she has another guy in there, and it was horrible. And I felt like she betrayed her characters and she didn't stay true to who they were. And The Confidence of Wildflowers was so well written, and it was such a great book. I don't understand what happened in the second book. It was just all fucked up and stupid. It was like it was written by a different author.
I remember you saying that because all the Marco
absolutely
Polos
hated
were
it.
you have to pick up this book, you have to pick up this book, and then you get to the second one, you're like, don't,
Yeah.
just don't. And so I never did.
Don't read it.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
I mean, I know other people like the second book. And I know a lot of people didn't like the first book because of what happens in the first book. And it is very tragic and heartbreaking. That I still loved the first book. It had nothing to do with that. It was everything, basically Salem's actions in the second book. I just felt like this isn't who her character was. If you wanted to have a separation, have her go away and have the baby and then come back and be like, okay. But 6 freaking years.
Yeah.
It was stupid. Like, and then they're supposed to magically heal over that and be back together. No, it was horrible. It was fucking stupid. I hated it. You need to take over. Go.
Okay, cool. All right. So the next book that I have on my rant list here is an old one. So this is Grimm by M.K. Edom. I was told, so when you ask for like a barbarian type romance, this one comes up all the time if you ask in any reading groups on Facebook. It is an alien romance. The premise behind this one, he's a very humanoid looking alien, but the premise behind this is our heroine is a single mom to 2 little girls. Her husband, and we see her going to his gravesite and stuff on page in the beginning, her husband has died and they're in mourning when she is abducted by this alien, Grimm. Okay.
He's like the leader over this.
I tried it twice because I kept thinking maybe it was me, but hell no, it's not me. So she's abducted by this alien with her daughters, or like they end up bringing her daughter, going back to get her daughters because they're with a friend, something, because it literally abducts her while she's at her husband's gravesite. Okay. The acceptance. I'm sorry, but if any woman who is mourning her husband, I think he'd only been gone for like 6 months, is abducted by an alien. I mean, this is purely hypothetical. I'm going to think that she's going to have a little bit of a hard time with that. Okay.
Wait. You're talking about somebody being abducted by an alien and you include purely hypothetically.
Well, I'm only saying that because I know that some women and men in general, sometimes after they lose someone, they actually find somebody very quickly. It happened to my uncle, but like, so I mean, not all the time, but you would in a book. I want her to be mourning her husband for more than a minute, okay? And then she's abducted, and she just accepts it like that. She accepts it. She accepts him. Her kids are brought onto the ship, and immediately he is daddy to them.
Is this like, the one where the airplanes? No, you just read that.
Oh no, that's on here too. Okay, I want to talk about that one in a minute too. But it was so like give me a little resistance. I mean, why is everybody so accepting? And so people like talk about this one like it's one of the best alien romances out there. It's not. It is horribly written. You can tell it was written like 20 years ago. The audio is really annoying, even though it's like before they even had like full cast narration with like sound effects and stuff too. It has them, but it is so old it's freaking annoying. So your turn.
Okay, so the next one is one that I actually feel a little bit bad about having on here. I feel bad about all of them. So here's the thing, people. I hope that this will encourage you to go check these books out and give these authors some support so you can either agree with us or maybe prove us wrong. So if you disagree with us on any of these, please put those in the comments. We will not be offended or upset. We understand that some books work for people. Most of the time, Jessica and I are pretty like, if I love a book, she'll at least like it, or vice versa. There's only been a handful of times where we've been on opposite spectrums with a book. And that is okay. Like, we understand that it's very subjective when you read, and it can also be your mood. I almost put a book on here that I read back in 2022 that I hated. And I actually have several of that author's books on my shelf. I did not connect the two for a very long time, that they were the same, that book was by that author in this same world. And I think now if I went and read it, I might actually really love it. It had dark themes that I just wasn't ready for at the time. So reading changes, taste, all of that. So go check out these authors and see if maybe you like them or you don't like them. Okay, that makes me feel slightly better. Okay. I know that some of you have commented before.
Guilt. There's a lot of guilt here in this video, if you guys can't tell.
But I always do. I know though we have had viewers comment, especially like when you've gone off on your rant, that people are like, that just made me so intrigued. I went and read the book myself. Yeah. Like, so hopefully this is bringing some positive attention and not just negative attention, because we want to be supportive in this world. That being said,
let's
my next book, Long Live the King by Lexi Black. I just read this very recently. So I didn't give the spoilers in my review. I'm going to now. I enjoyed the book up until the end, and I felt like the ending completely ruined it. And Jessica got to hear me rant about it for a good 10 minutes when I read the book. So now you guys will hear it. It won't be 10 minutes long. So in this book, we have our heroine, Tyler. She loves this band. She gets there really early. It's pouring down rain. She's standing outside waiting to get in. Eric sees her, invites her in because she's standing out there so long, cold, all of that stuff. And once they get in, she realizes that he's the drummer from the band. From there, he's taken with her. He later tracks her down and asks her to come on the tour with him and do like his biography, like write his biography for him and like track him, all of that stuff. So she agrees. They fall for each other. But nothing can really happen between them because of this contract. He kind of spiraled and went off the deep end into alcoholism and all of that. He's been in AA. He's been back on track for several years. I think it was 5 years that he's been in AA and on track with that. And he sees her walking with one of his bandmates to his bandmate's trailer, and the bandmate like throws his arm around her, and he spirals from that and decides that she must be interested in his bandmate and cheating with him. The bandmate who he has spent the entire book talking up about how great this band was, how they paused their tour when he needed to go to rehab, how supportive they've been of him all these years. He just assumes by this one interaction that the bandmate and her are hooking up. So he starts drinking and completely like throws away his sobriety over this one moment. And I hated it. I thought it was ridiculous. Maybe that could happen, but he'd been sober for 5 years. It was hard for me to believe that he thought so highly of his band and this woman that seeing them together makes him think they must be cheating. Like no conversation, nothing. He just immediately starts drinking. I have not struggled with alcoholism, so maybe this is something that could be triggering and cause this. I didn't believe it in the book, though, because we'd been told something completely opposite for the entire book. And part of her job was to interview the other band members for this freaking book she's writing. So that just really irritated me. And then she comes back and he grovels to her about it. And there's never a discussion about the fact that her action made him throw away his sobriety. It was ridiculous and I hated it. Like, we just completely glossed over that. So if you're going to write about somebody's sobriety and their journey and they're going to fall off the wagon, which does happen, at least wrap that up. Get him back in a better place. This was a very toxic situation if seeing her talk to somebody else causes him to give up 5 years of sobriety. And then the book was just over like that.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It totally ruined the entire book for me. That could have still happened. But it was like the miscommunication trope, so micro. That it was ridiculous with such devastating consequences for him. And then we just gloss over the whole fucking thing. I hated it. I rated the book 2 stars, and that was generous. And that was only because I liked the first part of it. But that was like, all of that happens in like the last less than 10% of the book.
Okay. All right.
Maybe I don't feel as bad about that as I thought I did.
Okay. So this next one, I'm going to give a couple of little caveats because this is a very popular book. And Mandy and I have stated on the channel many times that we are Christians. We have a walk with Jesus. That is our thing. And sometimes that does affect what we read. I think authors sometimes certain authors, not all authors, because we're friends with a lot of authors and we know they don't do this. They kind of live in their own little bubble, in their own little world, and they think that all of their readers believe and think just like them. And that is not the case. Just because an author believes something, whether that be political or religiously or whatever, it doesn't mean that every single reader is going to agree with them, but we still want to read their books. I love cult romances. There's just something about it. It gives that dark, gritty feel. In the town we grew up in, there's actually currently a cult happening there right now. And
there was when we were growing up.
And there was when we were growing up as well. So like there's like
legit, like compound and everything.
Yes.
Like we're not just saying like it was.
Yes, and there's one there right now too. So like there's some interest there, okay?
Like people lived. There was like a legit compound where everybody in this cult lived. Like,
and
I
I've
just
always
want
heard
people
the
to
stories.
understand this was not just like somebody had a house.
And it had like a prophet and everything. And I remember Mom telling me the stories of like how he'd have the young girls sitting on his lap as he was driving up and down in his VW bus, headed it back out to the cult from town. So yes, like it was a thing. It was a thing. And a lot of those girls end up very messed up after the cult disbanded and whatever happened to it. So the poor things. But I love cult romances. What I have a hard time with happened in this book that I'm going to talk about in a second. It's That Sick Love by Jessie Hall. Because when I read, The Cloister, love The Cloister by Celia Aaron, they don't quote direct scripture in the book, or in hers, in The Cloister. In Jessie Hall's, she does. She quotes direct scripture in the book, and there was something about that bothered. It really did not sit right with me, and I did not like it at all. And then he would say things to her like, I'm your God. You need to worship me. And I there are times those happen in books and it didn't bother me, but the way that this was done, in the context that this was done, it really bothered me and I couldn't get past it. And the one thing that at the time, I was like, she couldn't get away with this if it was anything other than Christianity. And we both know that. So it bothered me that the way she was using scripture in her book in this setting and then kind of bastardizing it in a way like where he was like, worship me. And so it didn't work for me. I've read other Jessie Halls that I really like, but I had a really hard time with that one. I'm not going to rant crazy about it. I'm just telling you guys why it didn't work for me. And I'm not going to go too crazy because I don't want, people thinking this is more than what it is, but like, it didn't work. It didn't work for me. So, and that was why.
Okay, next I have a book that I purchased because I loved the first book so much that I thought that I would love the whole series. And that is Taming the Heart by Elliot Rose. So I loved the first one a lot. This one, I didn't like it. I ended up DNFing it So we have Bo, who has his ranch, and he hires Sage to come out, or it might have been his sister who hired her. I think his sister hired her to come out.
Really matter.
I know. To do, she's going to stay at the ranch, and she's rebranding it basically and helping them get it back on track, getting people to want to come and all of that. So she gets there. He's none too happy. So he's going to be grumpy about this and all of that, which we love a good grumpy cowboy. He's showing her the property, and he points to this like swimming hole on the property, and she's like, oh, I can go skinny dipping there, da 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 da. And she tells him this isn't not an inner thought. She just flat out tells her new boss that she just met that she's going to go swimming naked.
Don't tell your new boss that.
Really weird, and felt kind of like something that like an 18-year-old might say. Most adults aren't going to randomly tell their boss that, oh, that looks like a great place to go skinny dipping. It wasn't a flirting situation. They had just met. And the book just continues to go downhill from there. I don't understand why he liked her at all. She felt very immature and annoying. And all like there just was no character to them. Like they had nothing going for either one of them. I just didn't like it. And I thought I would love it because I really enjoyed the first one. The first one was, her ex's dad, and it was so good. And I don't know if she kept trying, like if she was trying to recreate that magic and just couldn't, and that's what stalled this book out. I don't know. I didn't really care for the second one either, but it wasn't as bad as this one. And now I'm just not sure I was gonna try and continue on in the series because I thought I was gonna love the series. So I bought the whole freaking thing, and I DNF'd it because it was dumb. And I have like almost 1,000 books on my TBR on Goodreads, plus a shit ton of books on my shelf that I haven't even put on my TBR on Goodreads that I want to read. I don't have time to read stuff that's dumb. I didn't like it. Like, why? She was just so immature. Oh, and at the beginning of the book, she meets him and they don't realize who each other are until later. Like, it's months later.
Yeah.
She drops her purse and her vibrator rolls out onto the ground.
Because I keep that in my purse all the time.
And we're not talking like a mini one. It was like a regular vibrator. Not that a mini one makes it any different, but who's just walking around with their purse open with a vibrator in it?
Yeah, that's questionable. Okay, let's talk about my next one.
Please.
So this is one you mentioned. I actually talked about this one while we were in Ohio doing all of our Bray stuff. This one I felt bad because the author was there. But this is Dar by Jennifer Julie Miller. So this is an alien romance, and the premise sounded good. It's about a girl who is abducted, a married woman taken from her husband, and then made to be a slave, and then she's purchased by the hero, and then things go from there. And then I started the book. Oh my God. Okay, so our heroine is on an airplane. Her and her husband, before they get on the airplane, they are going to the Bahamas. They are so excited that these grown-ass people are skipping through the airport, holding hands to get to their gate. Now, I have flown a lot, but the one thing I don't do is skip through the airport with Jeff.
I would like to also point out, I have asked you before if you wanted to hold hands and skip in the airport, and you always say no.
It's too busy. Most of the time, Jeff is in a mood because he's traveling, and I can barely handle to walk next to him in an airport. And if you have a husband, I'm sure you know this.
Jeff is the one in the mood.
You keep saying this, but he is the one in the mood. He hates traveling, and then it puts me in the mood.
That was not the story. The story when he accidentally stole someone's suitcase, or you stole someone's suitcase that you made him carry through the airport, was that he realized that it did not look like your guys' suitcase, but he was, what was it? He was scared to tell you.
Okay, but I also would like it
through the airport incident of 2025.
Very clear. That did not happen. And I would also like to make it very, very, very clear that suitcase thing happened after a whole day of travel. We're talking like at the beginning of the trip, he's grumpy. He doesn't like people. And so he'll be like, oh, there's too many people. And then it's like a thing. And then he's grumpy. So every time we travel, I have to be like, please put your happy pants on today before we get to the airport, because we're going to something tropical. Okay, so They're going to the Bahamas. They're excited. Not to mention, every other sentence when they talk to each other is an endearment. It's honey, babe. It's like all different kinds. And it's the way a lot of us just don't talk like that. You typically have one pet name if you have one, and that's where it stays. It's annoying as hell. They're flying. They're up in the air. They're flying to the Bahamas when the plane is abducted, but not in the way you think. Something comes over it, and immediately the plane stops. What did we say when you're flying? It's like, was it like 800 miles per hour or something?
I think it was
and the plane,
500 to 600.
500 to 600. And a plane automatically stops. Your body is still going to continue to move. Now, hers did slightly. It fell to the floor. But my thought was, did you not have a seatbelt on? And if you're going 600 miles an hour and you have a seatbelt across your hips, seatbelt's probably saying you're probably going. That is not going to be a survival. I mean, I know the whole thing is fiction, but like survival, not really. Okay, let's
I would just like to point out that you also felt the need to really dissect that while we were flying. Like we are in an airplane and Jessica's like, now, do you just think that the airplane could just suddenly just stop and we would be fine?
Yeah, I needed you to really understand what I was saying there. So plane just then they rip the top off, and these guys are here for women to use them as slaves.
Again,
and yet they're murdering women left and right.
Fun conversation on the plane.
Again, yes, this was great. And then they murder her husband. And they take her. I'm sorry, but it was very juvenile, first of all. Like, and also like, and I said this in the previous video when I talked about this book. I understand that this is fiction. But I think that when you're writing fiction, there still has to be a little bit of reality. And in these kinds of situations, still got to have a little bit of reality. Otherwise, it's unbelievable and it becomes childish. And that is what we have here. Next.
Okay. Next is an author that we met, and you bought some books from her because you like her. I like her as a person, I'm sure. She was very nice when we met her. I then tried after that time to read another one of her books, and I just couldn't. So the first book I read by Ashley Munoz was Tennessee Truths.
I bought a book from her, but I've never read her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see if the people think that you should read it or not.
Yeah, I mean, after listening to you talk about her in the past, I'm not going to, so it's okay.
Tennessee Truths, I don't remember a lot about it, but it had just a bunch of elements that didn't make sense. Like people were like stalking them and taking pictures of them, and none of it really seemed to fit together. I just couldn't get into the book at all, and I didn't like it. And this was back when I wasn't DNFing, so I like read the whole thing and didn't like it. I decided, because I kept hearing that her MC was really good, to try one of her MCs. So I read Where We Promise, which is part of the Stone Writers MC. People rave about it. I hated it. It didn't make any sense. So Penny and her mom, like Penny's mom has struggled to find a guy. She just kind of bounces from boyfriend to boyfriend, dragging Penny along with her. Penny, they end up as part of the Stone Writers MC. Her mom is basically in and out of the picture. It kind of sounds like while she's busy trying to keep this MC guy happy. Penny ends up becoming friends with a couple of the guys in the MC. She ends up pregnant by the other guy, and then he goes like ballistic and like blows, not literally, but basically the club ends up having to disintegrate and separate. Jameson takes part of the club to go join another club, so she ends up coming along, and then he's gonna be totally okay with the fact that she's got this other guy. She was with this other guy, even though he was the one that she wanted the whole time, and she's pregnant with, like, it was dumb. I didn't get it. I didn't understand why he had any interest in her at all. She didn't seem like, why two guys wanted her, why the other guy left, and now he felt like it was his responsibility to take this whole situation on, even though it was going to cause all these problems for the club. Why the club then went and had to join another club, like nothing made sense. It was so it was just so far-fetched, and it just kept reminding me of the Tennessee Truths book where nothing really seemed to actually make sense. You can suspend belief for certain things. um I just listened to a book the other day, and the author's note was like, I know this isn't how it's going to work, so just go along with it. And honestly, I never even thought about it again, because authors can write things where you're like, that can really happen in real life. Like, a majority of what we read isn't realistic, but they write it in a way where it makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
the way she writes doesn't work for me. And I don't get it.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a grittier MC, but it really felt like the MC was lame.
Can't do lame MCs. Okay, so
Sorry.
the next book that I have is one that was extremely popular on TikTok, and it is why I do not trust TikTok recommendations anymore. First of all, let's start this out by saying not every fantasy book is ACOTAR, and you cannot compare every fantasy book to ACOTAR, and stop labeling it as, if you love ACOTAR, you will love this. Just because it has a fae in it does not mean that it's going to be ACOTAR. So stop.
I think people do that to try and market it to get people to want to read it.
And it's bullshit. And there's better books out there. I mean, I did love ACOTAR when I read it. I don't know that I would still love it now as much, but it has that nostalgia. But stop. Just stop. So this is How Does It Feel? No. Yeah, How Does It Feel by Janine O'Reilly. And I've noticed that the series has continued on. I read the first book. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't hate the first book. I was bored in the book. But it was more than that. It was the fact that there were women on TikTok literally falling over screaming about this book. And then I pick it up and it was boring as all hell. And then everybody was sitting there saying how they couldn't see the twist coming. There's this twist that just blows you out of the water. I knew what the twist was from the first damn chapter. So I'm like, I don't know if it's us because we read so much, or if it's just that people on TikTok get really shitty recommendations of shitty books. And so then they don't expect good books. And so then they can't see the writing on the wall. But this book wasn't worth my time. And it was ridiculous. And stop comparing everything to ACOTAR. Done. And stop giving stupid ass recommendations on TikTok. It's always the same 5 books and it's annoying.
Okay, my next one is one that I know I'm not alone in.
No.
And that is Devour by Gail Harris. So we read this as a buddy read a little over a year ago, maybe like a year and a half ago at this time. I had read a book from her before that it just didn't really work for me. It felt like she had some great plot points in there, but she really needed to work the book out a little bit more. Like it read like a first book. So I was a little hesitant when this book was picked for a buddy read, but I was like, you know what? Give her another try. So we read it and we all walked away with like, what on earth did we just read? So our heroine is on a flight and it lands and she shits her pants on the plane.
We shit
like
you
she
not.
trusts
She
a
shits her
fart or
pants.
something, but she shits her pants. She has to go to the bathroom when she gets off and tries to clean herself up. She then takes a cab ride to the hotel, is immediately swarmed by people and taken off with this guy who she then goes to stay with. And she still has not properly, she cleaned up in an airport bathroom. This wasn't, there was like, it was not like there was a shower there and she paid to take a shower. No, she cleaned up as best she could in the airport bathroom. We then have to continue to hear about how she shit her pants multiple times throughout the whole book. She even tells the guy that she did this. And then finally, at some point, she does clean up, but she is with him for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
How is this what you circle the whole book around? Your heroine shitting her pants? Like, maybe it could have been a one-off and it could have been funny, but it becomes the center of the entire book because of how much she brings it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so ridiculous.
So,
and also, the girl needs to clean up and take a shower. She shit her pants.
Yeah. I think Lauren Beale does that a little bit in Sinner's Retreat, where our heroine in the beginning has IBS and she's a nervous flyer. And so she ends up in the bathroom. She does not shit her own pants. But I think there's a way to do that and not have it become the whole story. Like it happens is how she's mortified because the guy knocks on the door, the hero, and she has to open the plain bathroom door after just dying in the bathroom. But we move on at that point. We don't discuss it again. It is mentioned again that she does have IBS, but not like that. Like there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. That is how not to do it.
Yeah, it was awful.
Just saying.
I just won't read that author anymore.
No. Okay, so this should be my last one.
Okay.
This is one I read earlier in the year. And it was one that was in my a dark romance group that I'm in that they said was just amazing. It's a rebirth novel. And so basically the heroine at some point dies and then is reborn and able to like correct the mistakes of her past, right? And choose a different person to be with. But it was so shitty that it didn't even matter to me at that point. Okay, so this is called What Goes Around. And it is by Talia Nova. So the problem with this is plot holes, people. Plot holes. There's a lot of plot holes. So in this story, and I'm gonna like look at my notes a little bit. It's been a while, but the author tells us that so it's the heroine. The heroine is dating or engaged to her best friend's brother, and the best friend is dating the heroine's brother, if I remember right. And so they come from this small town. There is this this betrayal that happens between the best friend and her, and it involves, and her fiance believes the brother and not her. They might even be on their wedding day. It was on somebody's wedding day when it started out. Like I just don't even care. But instead of believing her, he believes his sister, and like doesn't even, like, she says that he's been cheating on her or she's been cheating on him and doesn't ask for like, I don't know, facts. Where's the proof? Like, you're talking about my fiance here. And then they supposedly live in this itty bitty tiny town. Okay. All of her videos that are being made, or all of the videos from the wedding stuff, are going viral. Anything that is happening between them that is on social media is going viral. Nobody cares about tiny town life like that. They just don't. It's going to be very rare that your video about your wedding falling apart is going to go viral if you don't have a huge friend group or people to like put it out to. I'm sorry. It isn't. Then she thinks she's pregnant. She goes to the pharmacy. She buys a pregnancy test and it's put into a brown paper bag. We are clearly told that it is put into a brown paper bag. Supposedly in this little teeny tiny town, which Mandy and I both live in small towns. We grew up in a small town. There's paparazzi standing right outside of her pharmacy. How many times in your life did you ever see paparazzi? None?
In
who gives
our
a shit?
town?
In one of our tiny towns.
Never.
So, yeah. So she leaves the pharmacy. By the time she gets home, it's all over the news because the paparazzi took video and everybody knows that she bought a pregnancy test. It was in a brown paper bag. How would they know that it was a pregnancy test that she had purchased? Logic ain't logicking here. And why do they care? Just because he comes from a little bit of money? Who cares? Then, the other thing that bothered me about this.
You could make that work though. I read a book where it's a small town wedding and it goes viral because somebody there was like live streaming it, and then it like people like,
yes,
a video could go viral.
Yes, not all of your videos.
A news reporter who's trying to make it big could come to the town to try and catch something.
Way? Not a whole shitload
like
of paparazzi.
You could make this work, but not like that.
And I'm sorry, but if something is in a brown paper bag, we cannot see through it, okay? We're not Superman. We're human.
Well, and also, like, if it's a pharmacy, that, like, the most logical choice would be that she was picking up a prescription.
Yeah. You go to our CVS, it's in a brown paper bag that says CVS. You're not going to see what's inside of it.
The reporter would have had to have seen her in there, but that's not.
But that's not what we're told. Either. We're told they're outside. Okay, yeah. So then we're told that the heroine goes to a hotel because she gets a notification from her fiance.
There's more?
Yes, she's a notification, and she thinks it's like the ex-boyfriend asking her to come home, like because they've broken up, right? So she goes to a Hilton hotel. Mandy and I have stayed in a lot of hotels. Many of them are Hiltons. Okay. The door to the hotel room is left ajar, just ajar. No big deal. Not like anything is stuck in the door to keep it open. It's just ajar. So that she sees.
Which is really hard to do with a hotel room door.
That's what I'm saying. They're weighted. They slam shut. So that she can see somebody screwing in there. Right. So she can see somebody screwing in there. Her best friend screwing. So it's like a thing. Let's use a little bit of logic. Like I can suspend disbelief for some things, but they have to be grounded in logic. And that at that point I was so done that I was just done. I was like, you're shitting me, right? Because this is not a thing. Now, if you were in like some old school hotel, not some, like we're talking a no-tell motel type situation, maybe. But even those kind of have that weight.
Well, or a better way to do it was that they were staying at a hotel and they had like a ground level patio.
Yes.
And the sliding glass door was open or something.
Or just say, because I know like the best friend wanted it to look like she was sleeping with this person to hurt her, kind of, or the boyfriend was sleeping with. I can't remember how the connections actually worked, but she wanted her to find it. Now, if you told me there was something holding the door open, like if a sock or something got caught in the door and it was holding it open, okay, maybe I can do it then. But like not that it was just ajar, because doors like in your house, sure. In a hotel, no, don't work like that. So anyhow, that's it. That's my rant.
Okay.
Last one.
All right. Oh, okay. So I'm going to say that I loved Binding 13. I loved Keeping 13. I loved Saving 6. And I loved Redeeming 6. So the Boys of Tillman loved the series. They were all 5-star reads for me. Chloe Walsh loved them. Loved them so much. I was so excited for Taming 7 to come out that I ordered it twice. Well, technically, I ordered it once and then it was delayed and was not going to show up on the day that it came out. So I actually had my husband drive 30 plus minutes away to go pick it up for me while I was at work. And then 30 plus minutes back to bring it to me so I could start reading it as soon as I got off work. Okay? Very excited about this book. Taming 7 was horrible. This was another case of an author who completely forgot about who her characters were. Like, we saw Claire and Gibbsy throughout the whole series. They were phenomenal together. She completely changed them. Completely. They were not Claire and Gibbsy. Their characters were nothing like how they were in the other 4 books. It was horrible. She made Gibbsy into this, like, I don't know how to even describe what she did to him. She betrayed them. She betrayed me. It was awful. I wanted to love the book so much, and nobody is more disappointed in how much I did not like that book than me. So I would feel sorry about it, but I don't, because the book was horrible. I know a lot of people loved it. Like, I'm looking right now at Goodreads, 258,000 plus ratings, and it's rated at 4.34. So it is clearly how I took the book, but that was not Clara Gibbsy. It was horrible. She put Gibbsy through trauma that just felt like she did it just to give him some sort of weird ass story that he didn't need. There was already such a great story there for the two of them that she didn't need to add all that other shit and completely change who Gibbsy was as a person.
Okay.
I don't think, and there's another book that she wrote, and I've heard it's much better. And I don't think I want to read anything by her anymore because of this. I am holding a grudge.
Mandy can totally hold grudges. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll give you that.
And well, an author screwed you over, and I said I wasn't going to read her anymore. I don't know that that's holding a grudge. That is being supportive.
It is being supportive, but you still hold grudges. But that's okay. So anyhow, let's wrap this up.
I'm so mad about Taming 7. You've got me all worked up again. All the other ones, like on my list, I can just be like, well, I mean, Confidence of Wildflowers was a tough one for a while, but I've let that go. But Taming 7, I just feel so irate about how she fucked them over. Like, what happened? Did you read your other books that you wrote? Because that's not who the characters were.
Okay, let's end this video before we end up like out there and
my blood pressure right now. It's not going to be favorable.
Before we tank the
I forgot to take my blood pressure medication today.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's not good. So Mandy's going to go do that, but wrap this up before you do it.
Or did I take it?
I don't know, but you still got to wrap the video.
Please check back. Okay. Again, reiterating, this was the
This is what you wanted
video. So you have it. I don't know that we can do this again. I could probably do a books that I've DNF'd. I don't know that I could just do a whole like rant.
No, and I don't like I said when you and I were off camera before this started, like we like to be respectful of authors. I don't want to say anything that's going to upset anybody, and obviously this has the potential to upset a lot of authors if they were to see this. I also don't want to put myself in a situation where I read a book by an author that eventually they write something and I absolutely love, and then I can't get them into the box because they find this video. So I don't want to have to do this again. But we want to be respectful of authors as much as we can. And we try to do that all the time. But you guys asked for it, you got it. So here it is.
Yes, so here's the Captor video.
Don't hold it against us. Yeah.
And I also want to point out, we're not disappointed that we had to do this video.
No.
It's fine. Like, I don't want Captors to feel bad. A lot of people have been asking for this, so this was a video that was coming regardless if Captors voted for it or not.
Yes.
You guys wanted it, so we want to deliver on what you guys want. It's just awkward.
Yes.
I'm talking about Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh.
Right. Okay, so let's wrap this up.
Check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us, and we do have some good videos, author interviews coming. So make sure you check back on Wednesdays for those. Yeah.
All right. Well.
And in the comments, tell us, did you agree with any of our rants or do you disagree? Let us know that too.
For sure. Yeah. And thanks for watching. Just know that we don't do this all the time if you're new here. And we'll see you in the next video.